Hello! Welcome to everyone joining via the conference room. Welcome to everyone joining. Not everyone, welcome to the person joining via YouTube. And a very special welcome to our dear friend Bruno Groening, who I believe is with us in spirit. Let's see. Bruno said, I can continually call to you from here, and I tell you that I am already with you, completely with you. Just believe it. Convince yourselves of it. No, I am not just talking, friends. So, according to Bruno Groening, he's with us always. In fact, he said, I am here and everywhere at the same time. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining in, and thank you to my friends in the conference room who are teaching me German. And you know, God is everywhere, and through some great mystery, our dear friend Bruno Groening is able to somehow be everywhere, somehow be with us. So let's really, not just in this moment, but throughout our lives, let's really connect to the divine, really take in all the good. It's always available. Welcome, Sinran. I'll start us off with a prayer. Beloved Maker, our dear friend Bruno, please be with us. You already are with us. Please help us to feel your presence. Please guide this time together and guide us every moment of our lives, and help us to seek that guidance and to seek your presence. Please, Bruno, we look to your faith to help strengthen our own faith. Please, during this time together and during all throughout our lives, may we be open to this beautiful energy and open to guidance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, let's hand over all of our burdens. And a burden is anything that feels good. It's worrying about the future. It's a physical illness. It's anything that's blocking us in life. Feeling that we're not good enough, that we're not good, that we're not inherently good. Low self-esteem, people-pleasing, anything that doesn't serve us, that doesn't help us to serve. Let's hand it over to Bruno. Upsets we have with people, That doesn't mean that maybe there's an action we need to take with someone, but we don't need to be upset. It disturbs our peace and disturbs our reception of the energy. Observing the body, having the will to absorb energy for it. Namaste, Kita. Thank you for joining in. So if we're not, sometimes the mind, some people when tuning in, their mind is just all over the place, and it happens to me. And so what to do? I just repeat a short prayer or a short mantra to myself until the mind settles down. And sometimes it takes a few minutes. Sometimes the mind just goes crazy for a long time. Some phrases that when my mind is just blah, 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 that I repeat are, thy will be done, meaning God's will. Thy will be done. Thy will be done. Or, God, please have mercy on me and on the whole world. God, please have mercy on me and on the whole world. Very beautiful one is, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. God, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And those are short prayers that have worked for me. So if your mind's going wacky and just won't focus, then you can always ask. You can always ask for guidance. What's a short, simple prayer to help bring us into the present moment? And then I just repeat it over and over and over until finally the mind quiets. So, who are we? What are we? It's easy to say things like, oh, I'm a man, I'm an American, I like this. But on a deeper level, what are we? Well, Bruno Groening gives us some hints. One thing he says is, a human being must be in divine guidance. There is no life without it. So whatever we are, we need to be connected to God and guided by God. A fish needs to be in water. A human being needs to be connected and guided by God. A human must be under divine guidance. There is no life without it. Bruno Groening also said, we all depend upon God. There is no life without God. So whatever we are, we're utterly dependent on God. Of himself, Bruno Groening said, let's see if I can find it actually. I'll have to paraphrase. Here it is. I am the sender who sends the healing wave. You are the receiver that receives the healing wave. Okay, so part of what we are is that which takes in this divine energy. We all know that the body has the capacity to breathe in air, but who knew that our soul, and in another sense, our body, has the capacity to take in divine energy? Okay, so who are we? What are we? Well, we need to be in divine guidance. We need God. We have this capacity to receive. And Bruno Groening also said, as I am a major sender, you are a minor sender. So we also have the capacity to send divine energy. Okay, so we need to be in divine guidance. So we're looking at this, the mystery of what we are. We think we know what we are, We think like I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm an American male. Um, I'm 46 years young. Bruno Groening said, never say that you're old. People would ask Bruno Groening, how old are you? And he'd say, I'm never old. I'm always young. So, like, oh yeah, I'm this 46 years young American male, and I like da 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 da. But is that who and what I am? Underneath it all, Bruno Groening is pointing to something much deeper than a conversation like that. Our need for God, our need to be in divine guidance, this capacity to receive divine energy, this capacity to send divine energy. But that doesn't even say sort of who and what we are. That just tells us a little bit about ourselves. When Bruno Groening says we're a soul, we've all heard that word, but what does that mean? Well, Bruno says things like divine creation, divine marvel, or divine miracle, divine wonder, and that we're children of God. So let's look deeper than the particulars. The particulars being our gender, our nationality, our life history. Not that those things are not important and really precious, actually. Our life journey is precious, but we're looking at what's underneath that. Bruno said, we have to follow the good. We must do that. So who or whatever we are, by the good, he means good in the big sense of the word. Must isn't like, we obviously don't have to. We have free will. Yet if we want to, what Bruno's talking about here is, divine guidance and dependence on God and following the good. We have free will. Bruno Groening was adamant about that. And if we want to be happy, healthy, and be harmonious, and if we want to really, in a sense, be what we are, if we're a divine creation, a divine marvel, and we want to be that, if we want to be a child of God, then these are the things we need to do. What I've come to believe is, I wouldn't say believe, I'm just convinced of, is that we are children of God, and our purpose is to connect to God and receive that life stream, and then to extend it and express it, meaning to pray for others, to do service, to be an embodiment of God here on this earth. It's written that Christ said, "You are the light of the world. Let your light so shine that through your good works, people may glorify your Father in heaven." And so I'm convinced that's what we're all here to do, is to be lights to each other. Bruno Groening said it sort of the same thing very simply. He said, we already are servants of God. We've just forgotten that Bruno Groening was nothing other than an instrument of God, which he said you already are, but you just have forgotten. You just don't believe. Bruno didn't come to just heal people of their illnesses. Bruno Groening said, I feel it to be my duty to restore balance to human beings, to straighten him out so that he is master over matter. Bruno Groening was a master over matter. And he said that he came here to remind us that that's what we are. Yes, Heather wrote, sorry, Masters of Life. That's what Bruno Groening said that he wanted us to become. Thank you, Heather. All right, dear ones, we're going to begin our prayer tuning in time for individuals. So if you've typed something, I see your name, and we'll already tune in for each person whose name I can see. And then if you have a specific prayer request, please type that in. Tomorrow, I believe there will be 2 meetings, 9 a.m. and noon, and I'll be posting that by the end of the day. My schedule is very much in fluctuation right now. And yeah, I'll have that up within about 4 or 5 hours, the correct schedule. Dear God, dear Bruno, please, the highest blessing for Simran. Let's tune in and ask. Thank you. Dear God, dear Bruno, please, the highest blessing for Gita. Let's tune in and ask. Thank you. Dear God, dear Bruno, please, highest blessing for Heather. Let's ask for Heather. Thank you. Dear God, dear Bruno. Thank you. Uta wrote that it helps her to focus to look at a picture of Bruno Groening, and that's definitely been my experiences, especially when my emotions are all over the place. But yes, also with helping with the mind focus to look at a picture of Bruno Groening. Thank you, Uta. That's a gem. Dear God, dear Bruno, please, the highest blessing for Jerry. Thank you. Dear God, dear Bruno, please, the highest blessing for Ulrike. Let's tune in and ask. Thank you. Dear God, dear Bruno, please, the highest blessing for Uta. Let's tune in and ask. Thank you. Dear God, dear Bruno, please, the highest blessing for me, if you'd please tune in and ask. Thank you. Dear God, dear Bruno, please, for Reina and her love team, let's tune in and ask. Thank you. Any other prayer requests? Dear God, dear Bruno, please, the highest and best for Kirsten. Thank you. Dear God, dear Bruno, please, the highest and best for Lani K. Let's tune in and ask. Thank you. Dear God, dear Bruno, please, the highest and best for Dita S. Let's ask. Thank you. All right, friends, I'm going to begin the general prayer requests. Before that, I'd like to thank everyone for joining in. And I'm very honored by what you wrote, Gita. Thank you. Pranam right back to you. Pranam is an Indian word which means to I bow or I offer respect, and right back to the divinity that lives inside of you and lives inside each one of us. Dear God, dear Bruno, please, for everyone who attended this community hour, let's ask. Please ask for each one of these. Please, for everyone who's ever come to one of these gatherings or ever watched one of the YouTube videos. Please, for all the friends of Bruno Groening. Please, for the orderly spread of Bruno Groening's work all around this world. Please, for each one of our part in serving life, whether we call it being a servant of God, being a server, a helper, a minister, an artist, a mother, a father, whatever our task is, please, for each one of us to get better and better at it. Please, for this ministry, all its activities. Please, for all those seeking the good, all those who've lost faith in the good. Please, for this beautiful planet, our Mother Earth. For for this living being that we live on called Earth. And for all the living beings on her. Please, the great turnaround in our hearts and the hearts of every living being, back to nature, back to God, back to the knowledge of the inherent goodness of everyone. For complete faith in the final victory of good over evil on this planet, and the restoration of paradise. Let's plead now, first for ourselves, for mercy, pardon, forgiveness, freedom from all evil. And then for those who are near and dear to us, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, dear ones. Hope to see and feel you all very soon. Thanks so much for joining in. For anyone who's joining in who's new, I'll close with a minute of silence after this. You can find more information about this work and my schedule of events on www.thehealingstream.org. All one word, thehealingstream.org. If you're not on my email list and would like to be, it's thehealingcurrent@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Divine creations, divine marvels, children of God, receivers and senders of this divine energy, and instruments of God, servants of God. Thank you so much for joining in. Much love.